Even Super KGE apparently coming back. So that's a fun roster right there. And I can't say I'm that surprised, but still, it is a little surprising at the same time to hear that they're up 1-0. So another good day already in the making here. Another fun day upon. But anyways, back to our game here. Mathematical.
So it looks like they pretty much banned the same 4 heroes, and then the first 2 picks coming out were the exact same again. Midas first pick, Behemoth first pick.
Yeah.
But
there you go, Behemoth once again. They get more of themselves though this time.
That's the differentiating factor so far.
Yeah. That is the key. And you see Magnus' response into Clanks as the carry of choice. So Baltazar, he's been known to play Clanks once or twice here, so gonna more the traditional carry, I think. Actually, Zibe in chat, he actually made a really good point about a spell casting carry in general, such as an Alonia. If you're going to be running it as more the short lane carry and trying to have an impact with that, you can't really go a Staff of the Master. No matter how good it is, at least earlier on, you have to get something like a Hex, even a Sheepstick. You need that lockdown tool. And I think after seeing what we did, I could see why he says that. It makes sense.
Yeah, it would have definitely been useful, but I don't know if it would have helped him. He was already squishy as it is, so Staff of the Master, a lot of the also reasoning behind it was it just gave him an extra, 400 HP or whatever it does, so. But, yeah, he just got jumped on a lot, and maybe an Assassin Shroud would have worked better than a PK.
What a dummy. What a dummy. Should have gone Assassin Shroud.
In terms of these picks, that Clank's coming out early, I feel like they should have saved him later. He's a great carry, but if you get anything that's like a portal key or like a Pharaoh or something, he's an easy hero to shut down because he's so squishy himself. I would have liked to see them save him for a later pick, but they are the world champions, so I will trust them. Yeah.
The defending world champions. Yeah, it is one of those. Again, they do play a bit of Clanks, so I would not be surprised if Nullstone banned a Clanks in the next tier of bans. To be fair, so they just wanted to really make sure to get it here.
True that.
But no, I could definitely see what you're saying though. Now Nullstone has that information, of course, to work with. Will they try to get a hero that's good for catching him and so far they have a team that's, Midas and Magnus really pretty aggressive. We'll see.
Yeah. Yep.
How that works here. Swiftblade coming out for BMG. So they are going to run the dual carry once again, but this time more the traditional. We'll probably see a Swiftblade suicide here. See, that's kind of interesting though, because honestly, I don't think BMG usually runs a suicide Swiftblade. But they're going to do it here. Most likely, at least. I don't see any other way.
Yeah, it seems to make the most sense unless they do something crazy, like a Clanks mid or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jungle Swiftblade. Probably not going to happen here. What was I going to say about Nullstone? Oh, they're going to go Darklighted. That's what I will say. They were right-clicking that. Who were they right-clicking? God, that one hero that farms a lot. Salamon. That's what I was trying to think about.
Salamon.
They were right-clicking. They do play it a lot, and I was curious if we're going to see that. But no, we're going to see the Dark Lady instead. Again, she's kind of that good for getting in there. The Dark Blade's powerful. Going to be good against Clanks, at least if she's able to get in there, which she usually can. So, I like that pick.
Yeah, I think if they didn't go with the Swiftblade, then maybe they still would have grabbed Solomon. But, Behemoth's really good at defending early. Swiftblade's got the potential to fight early on. So, probably if they saw 2 really heavy, greedy carries, they might have still gone with Solomon to just pick it up early and maybe... Did they ban Ophelia? They ban Ophelia too. I know they like to run... When they pick Solomon, they like to grab Ophelia too because she's got that super early game presence with the heal and the creep push. So... But I like BMG's team. They're playing it safer. They're not going for like the all-in early game strat. They're going to just try to take it to late game, pick their fights wisely, and be able to at least contest after the 40, 50-minute mark.
Yeah, so fifth and final pick now for Bad Monkey Gaming. BMG, they actually ran a bit of Suicide Behemoth against Fresh in that Best of 5 series. I want to say 2, at least even 3 times possibly in that series. So, again, that wouldn't be out of the question still, but it just seemed like with what they have here, it just makes a little more sense to run the Suicide Swiftblade, do more of their traditional, like we saw last game, have Clanks short farm with Mora, have them stack in the camps, Behemoth eventually transitions into the lane, and Clanks will then go clean up once he gets the Thunderclaw. Whoa!
What?
Succubus coming out. Now that is different here from BMG.
She's a strong hero when played right, but where are they going to put her is the question.
I assume middle. I mean, she is arguably one of the strongest 1v1 heroes in the game. And yeah, they're going to keep swapping it out. They're going to keep Nullstone guessing here. They're not going to give them an obvious answer as to who's where, but
So Behemoth in the suicide lane, just to go back on that real quick. I know in the World Finals it was okay, but in Hantor he can't Fisher block the creep wave, right?
yeah, he
To give
can.
himself.
No,
He can.
you
It's
are allowed
allowed.
to. That one, yeah, that was changed going into the World Finals. She apparently was doing it quite a bit, and it was talked over with the competitors and stuff, and it was ultimately decided that yeah, they're going to allow it. So you can block the creep wave.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, he's a pretty good suicide in the sense that even if he gets shut out, he can always roam mid and with the Fisher block. I mean, yeah, he's pretty versatile.
See, okay, so that was again. I like what BMG was doing there. They were still saw because they were almost acting like maybe Boxy was going to run a suicide Moira. We've seen that before from them, and they were going to main support the Succubus. That would be interesting, but no, they are going to give it to Boxy. It looks like in the end. Okay, they are. All right. By the way, final pick engineer over there. I'm just so intrigued by the Succubus though,
Yeah.
where that ends up. So it's going to be in the hands of Boxy. So what are they doing here? He did play middle last game, to be fair. So I guess him still going mid this game isn't out of the question.
So no jungle for Hellborn team either. So maybe try lane or even pull the creep wave. Maybe.
Wow, you're right. That is not typical Nullstone. Do we have Quincy? Do we have record of how what is the win loss with Nullstone when they don't run a jungler? Because I gotta think it's not only minimal games, but I wonder if it's the best or not. But look at this engineer skin, by the way. This is one of the newest ones. The super soak. I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. It's an awesome
I saw
skin.
somebody streaming with it, and she got funny unit reactions too.
Yeah. Just wait until she can throw her mines, man. That's gonna be strong, dude. Can't wait for that. All right, start things off though. Oh, I love some of these. Anyways, ward aside to block the pole camp here for the lead team. Both teams doing pretty much the same thing here. Gonna block the camps, the pole camps, and you know, if I was Nullstone, definitely trying to get another ward aside to block, you know, another camp here, because again, they just so often stack the camps and then transition, like I was talking about. Get the Thunderclaw and Clinks, have him go into the jungle, and just start taking out the camps here. I'm pretty much going to guarantee that's what they're going to do. So we'll see if Nullstone's up to the challenge of stopping it or not. But you only block the one camp there in the end.
So Behemoth gonna Fisher block for Swiftblade, but it is gonna be Swiftblade in the suicide position.
Okay. Huh. That's actually an interesting idea, too. I didn't even think about that, how even if he's not running suicide, you can still run him or block initially.
Mm-hmm.
Where that's almost like that takes me back to like the Tempest days or Parasite even, where they used to be able to level 1 deny their own creeps, and you'd have them do that for the suicide hero.
Yeah, or back when Plague Rider was popular.
Oh god, yeah, that was a thing.
I miss him. He
I
was
do.
still a good hero.
He is well. Also, and his buff that he got for his armor, like it's now an AOE. That's actually pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
Buffs huge creep wave. I'm surprised we don't see him in like early game push lineups.
Yeah.
Like it feels like Sync might run a hero like that and alongside Ophelia or something. But
I agree. Well, it looks like we might have a couple-minute break here, unfortunately. So,
okay.
I'll pull up the brackets up once again. So again, we're looking at the top side here. Like I said, Team Grief currently up 1-0 over Recent Gaming. We got our Nullstone versus Bad Monkey Gaming series. As far as the bottom portion is concerned, guys, Sync Esports versus Solaire Club and Team Disband versus Team Who going to be the series later on today. We're choosing a cast, I believe, Team Disband versus Team Who. As far as those two series are concerned, definitely going to keep a close eye on Sync versus Solaire Club, of course. Solaire Club giving Reason Gaming a run for their money here in the Deadeye Bounty League on Thursday. Ultimately, Reason Gaming did come out on top 3 games to 2, but that was fun to watch. But yeah, we'll see how that one turns out here against Sync Esports now, and trying to see what they can do against them. But yeah, Team Disband, also another fun team, and it's become popular as of late, going up against Team Who had just, again, a very solid team themselves. Looking forward to seeing how those matches turn out.
Yes, and spoke with Disband earlier this morning, and they said they might have a support hero that we have never seen before. I'm not going to spoil anything yet, but hopefully they do follow through with what they told me.
Support Berserkers finally happened. I'm so glad.
No. Yes. Oh, it's back underway.
All right, here we go.
Ameno.
Here we go. So look what they're doing here on Null Store, by the way. Asuka's playing the Midas. So you hinted at it last game. He actually is going to be playing the Suicide Midas this game, though. Unlike
Yeah, he
last game
plays
there.
it so aggressively and against. Well, I don't know how it's going to work with Myra Clanks. Look at Clanks. He's going to take out the trees, so that's going to hinder him a little bit. But he uses the side chop. Yeah, he'll man up. He gets pooled regen, so you can see, and he's got the Guardian Ring, so he's got armor. Myra's not really going to be able to put a dent in him. It's going to be up to Clanks to pressure him out, and they're going to kind of have to double attack him to force him out of the lane. But expect him to get really good experience at the very least in this lane.
Yeah, for the initial start here, you see Clanks using that hawk and clearing out the trees, making a point that he's not going to be able to hide in there, use those for juke spots, and I like that from Baltazar. Limiting options here for Midas. I mean, you already see what they did over here with these trees. So, yeah, there's really nothing to hide here for Midas, and it also allows Moira to come in here and freely auto-attack off to the side. So, yeah, very, very good idea with that hawk ability. Early on, in fact, Behemoth, yeah, he's coming in as well. So now Midas, he has a decision to make right here. The stun from Moira's not going to land. The fidget stun will, but Midas should be able to walk around it. Yep. And is going to be able to escape in the end. So failed gank attempt right there, unfortunately for them.
Oh, I thought he was done for when he popped that elemental warp before the Fisher stun, but it didn't connect to the outpost, so that was lucky for him.
Yeah.
But I really think they're going to have to sit Behemoth down there. But look, you can see how close Midas is. And what he does is he tries to stand all the way up on the creep wave so that when they go to harass him, it would pull the wave. But Myra's doing good positioning herself.
Oh. That canceled the health potion pretty quickly right there, so that's going to cost Midas a little bit of life, but...
He just plays it so aggressively, and you
Yeah.
can't usually do that in a suicide role. And yeah, I mean, I play casual TM all the time. I watch him, and I try to learn from him because I play suicide role most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Asuka's definitely one of the better players, especially at a role like a suicide, so getting some insight from him definitely would make sense here. He's going to try to go around this side, but again, Behemoth's going to find him and box him out. But like we were talking about, look at the stacks already starting to happen here in the Legion jungle for BMG, so it's like clockwork for them. They know what they're doing with it, and by the time, like I said, Clanks gets a Thunderclaw, I'm sure he's going to transition, and we'll see that GPM rise. How's Succubus doing middle, though? Again, he's going 1 versus 2 against the classic NG mag lane.
She's doing great. Yeah. She's had the lane pulled up all the way on her cliff, and she's been able to stand off to the side, really not putting herself in any danger. Like, if a keg stun lands, she wouldn't budge, so. Yeah, she's having a great time here, and maybe not so much in farm, but lane control, she's not really in any danger, and that's the real a dual mid. I think it's for kills. It's not really so much to secure farm. So if you don't die to them, you're doing fine.
Well, and Succubus, no doubt, one of these heroes too. That get level 6, she's going to be impactful. Now, as I say that, the Kek's trying to follow up the Magnus Lava Surge. She's in some trouble right here. She had her okay, she used it on Engineer. I didn't catch that initially. Heartache comes out, and that'll easily keep her alive. Maybe not. The Lava Surge in from Magnus. Maybe followed up with an Engineer. Another Kek stun, not in range.
He lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, he threw it onto Magnus, and then Engie took it off of him. Engie took it off of Magnus, put it on himself so that his stun was off cooldown, but... Holy crap, I can't believe he lived there.
Yeah. Mesmerize is an interesting ability in a lot of different reasons, but right there it is just enough to save Boxy. And again, the Heartache on top of that. It's such a good tool. It's not only a good damage dealer, but it also, in turn, heals you, of course. So allowed him to stay alive there as well. Now, Swiftblade also roaming in the middle lane, but not going to be able to get much here.
I mean, Rhapsody really shut him down. She won't even let him get anywhere near the creep wave anymore, so she's been stacking the jungle up now, so he had a chance to get to level 3, but other than that, he's not even able to stack Ancients. You could see they pushed him away. I think that's what he was going to do.
Yeah. Oop, Magnus stuns in right here on a Succubus. There's that Keg stun. It connects this time, and Succubus, what you got gets credit for the kill right there, so... I mean, he was still hanging around with not much life in Fuzzy Sloth right there. No bottle on him or anything, so you do got to question that a little bit, but... He does ultimately
a little
die.
greedy there.
Very greedy, I think. I really don't think there's a reason for him to even be there, honestly. He probably, at that point, he probably should have fell back and got some regen and then came back. But what's done is done. Hindsight, sure. Bloodlust kill, though, for the Hellborn team coming out. But yeah, so look at Clanks. Again, I was even ahead of myself saying he's going to wait for a Thunderclaw. He's not even doing that. He's just going to the jungle. I guess with the Lackey, he's able to farm it pretty well in AoE style. here in the jungle.
Indeed.
This skin, man. He's got his little mobster.
Ooh, Rhapsody rotating. She just threw the staccato onto Behemoth. But Midas only level 2.
Yeah.
They're technically not going to get a kill.
You see right
Wow.
there, he's Sandy.
So, I mean, I'm surprised, though. Behemoth did a good job, because there's no way Myra alone would have been able to keep Midas out of that lane. But with Behemoth as well, they're shutting him down, and that's huge. I mean, they forced him to go ahead and buy boots first, which he doesn't normally do. But he's got to play so defensively. I feel like he needed it to get out of those situations.
Yeah. Look at Dark Lady. We haven't talked too much about Beaver Banger yet, though. 35-9 creep farm up here at the top lane. By far the best farm of the game. 385 gold per minute. Again, that's all just from pure farm at 5 minutes into the game. That's got to be near perfect. One of these days I'll actually learn the math in terms of the lanes, how many creeps spawn and everything. But
it probably is perfect.
Yeah, I
mean,
would not
35, it's multiple of 5, so maybe 7 waves in.
Yeah.
And there's a Hell Cannon, so maybe it should be 36. It's definitely near perfect, though, like you said. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, has several abilities, the Taint Soul as well as the Hatchet, on top of just auto attack damage in general, of course. Has definitely some very effective ways to make sure he's getting all the last hits. So, and you talked about too, Swiftblade. He's not even really able to stand up here because of being boxed out. So, makes sense, and not good news for the Legion team. But at the same time, Baltazar, he's, like I said, transitioned into the jungle here, and taking out the stacks. But Boxy, so going back to Succubus, though. Level 6 on Succubus, a huge, huge timing, because that Succubus hold is such a strong ganking tool in the end. Now, will she be able to obviously use it effectively? Will she even look to use it? I guess I'm curious. So what do you think? When she does hit level 6 right here very shortly, do you think she should maybe roam bottom right away and try to go for a kill, or should she maybe just still farm a little bit in the middle?
It's going to be hard to stick around middle, and it's going to be hard for her all game to get successful ults off, because NG, Magnus, Midas, Dark Lady, hold on, we got some action here. She's going to get stunned and follow up.
Oh, yeah, middle lane, Succubus. There goes the Mesmerize on a Magnus. And you see Engineer is like, well, I could take it off, but he doesn't really have a stun up, so not a big deal. So Succubus again survives.
Yep, but she's down to half health, and in a few seconds they may try that combo again. I'd like to see someone come to her. Maybe Swiftblade and Behemoth rotate mid and try to get a kill. But what I was going to say is, it's actually all 5 heroes on the Hellborn team have a way of interrupting the Succubus ult. She's going to have a hard time all game unless she's, they outnumber them and actually getting a full duration hold off.
That's a very fair point. That is a very, very good point. Yeah, that's where it is weak, is that it is a channeling ability, of course. Now, it has pretty good range on it. What is it? It's 625, so it's not like an electrician's static grip by any means, but it's, or a tongue-tied even, but still, it's you have to get somewhat close. And could be vulnerable. But yeah, that's where, again, he's technically playing a farming role. Now it's 1 versus 2, so not the friendliest here. But ideally, he should be able to get a little bit of farm. And that's where I kind of wonder, is he going to go for that shrunken head? Because when he gets a shrunken, there's no ways to stop him, on the other hand. So
Right, and that's going to be huge. So
yeah.
We'll see if he does decide to rush that. Oh, Magnus is going to stun onto Clanks, channel the Lava Surge Eruption.
Oh, the Hawk!
3
Just
HP.
over the ledge. Oh my God! No, what you got takes him out. He wanted to maybe deny himself, but he was like, maybe I can live. And then he realized, oh crap, it's too late. And by the time he gets over there, he dies. Behemoth, okay, another pause coming out. Is he? Oh boy. Apparently, yeah. I gotta believe that, because he kind of ran up right here, and I mean he has his fissure stun. There's no reason to really not use it, to be honest. So I wonder. If you're Null still no, it's like, do we let him get away? I don't know about that. I would think they're probably going to kill him, to be honest. And
Not a
they have
chance.
every right to, yeah.
He's got Myra in the area, though. Does she have enough? No, Shards of Harkon's on cooldown, so.
I'm curious what makes you call her Myra.
Yeah, I guess is it Moira?
Moira, yeah.
Moira.
Now me as a caster, you would think I'm pretty good at pronouncing things. I don't do it correctly half the time. The most classic example for me, when Bombardier first came out, I always used to call him Bombardier. And then I realized, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where you look at it, it's like, oh, yeah, you're right. So I think technically it's called Moira, though, yeah.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, it makes the most sense, but I
But
don't
if you
know.
want to call her Myra, I'm just fine with that, to be honest. So do what
Yeah,
you like, Matt. Damn it, do what you like.
it's not the first time I've heard it. Actually, every time I'm in a game, people give me crap about that. What did you call her?
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? So Succubus is level 6, I'll say that, and she is coming over, but yeah, probably not going to cause too much in this because she's way too far away from her teammates. Um, another kind of cool thing about Succubus, by the way, her smitten ability is interesting. This it got changed a long time ago to where now it actually is just straight up 40% all damage. So it used to be a tool where I think it was like a percentage on base damage or even
It was
minus
a
base
yeah
damage.
attack damage. So wait, is that going to reduce their magic damage from
Exactly,
spells too?
exactly. So that's what I'm getting at. Is that now it's a more universal tool.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I feel ashamed.
Well,
Wow.
again, it's not a hero we
That's
see often, so
yeah,
and there's
but I
so many in
mean,
the game.
so many patches. Like
But
sometimes they'll.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so using it on like a Midas here, especially earlier on, wouldn't be the worst option to reduce his damage at least a bit. But
Oh, absolutely not. And tons. I mean, that means like if your mesmerize is on cooldown, but you see Magma's channeling an eruption. What do you do? I can't stop it here. Just smitten on him, and now that's all that AOE damage is negated by half.
yep,
That's pretty useful.
nearly, yeah. And I actually want to say now that I'm looking at it, I think it even used to scale by level, but now it's just straight up 40%. It's just the duration increases
Yeah,
at
that's
the
completely.
levels.
That's all. That's so different
Yeah,
than it used to be.
it has changed.
Learn
And
something new every day.
maybe more changes to come. I don't know. I don't know. There's a big patch coming up. We'll see. Um, looking at the other match here, Grief versus Reason. It looks like it's pretty back and forth actually. Reason does have their Reason Gaming has a very comfortable lineup. That is just if they could each choose an individual hero to play. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was those heroes. Honestly, they got Tank of Fed and Ophelia, Imbo Boy playing Puppet, Zane playing Swiftblade. Maybe not that necessarily, but it's just a very good lineup. Team Grief also, of course, very strong, and right now they got a Dark Lady Haxorins doing very well. So that game, we'll keep an eye on it. Right now, 7-7 hero kills. Seems like it's fairly even over there, but once again, Team Grief up 1-0 over Reason Gaming in that series over there.
Yeah, so I mean, what they lack in team synergy, I guess, because they've all been playing, they haven't played together as much. They definitely have the experience. All those names are familiar names, like you said.
Yeah.
So I saw him play a game last night, scrim against Nullstone, and it looked like they were. I was like, oh, you guys are done for. Like the draft they picked, and they had Oogie, and it was just insane. I gotta say, I'm surprised we don't see Oogie in competitive after
Wait,
how well it
they
worked
ran
last
Oogie
night.
against Nullstone?
They did,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
And he was like, "Oh, I could tell why. I can see why you pick this player all the time." Beaver, talking to Beaver.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, Beaver's the one no one to play in, if anything. But that's
Oh
funny.
yeah, it was a good matchup. So definitely, if they make it to the next bracket, don't count them out. They're going to be trying their hardest.
Well, see, so it looks like Beam is reconnecting, but I want to get to this point too. It's really interesting where we're at right now because these DreamHack qualifiers. Now we got this one. We're gonna have the next one, but after the next qualifier is when we're gonna have that huge balance patch on May 5th. So that's where a lot's gonna change then all of a sudden. So it's like you got a lot of comfortable things now, but something we talk about all the time when a new patch hits, especially, is who does that benefit the most? Does that benefit the teams that are so dominant or are already really like the Sync Esports and the BMG, or will that benefit the underdog teams, the teams that aren't necessarily as popular or as skilled necessarily, but because everyone almost is on a clean slate in essence of as far as strategy goes? So
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know if it benefits either. I think it's more like down to the individual teams if they're going to just get to practice it a lot because it's such a like every little change affects every hero matchup, like against the hero, combination of heroes with heroes. So whatever teams buckle down and start playing matches and get into it, they're going to be the first ones to learn what changes really impact the current meta. So
there we go, though. Whoop. Dead. As soon as it come out of the pause. Yeah, Behemoth didn't really stand a chance right there. Succubus running in, running into a trap. Energy field goes down. It does catch her initially, and that should be just enough time. First miss on from Midas coming out. Oh, never mind, actually. They're just not going to chase in the end. So Midas missing that Lion's Pride of hers is going to cause them to not get the kill onto Succubus at least. But still, they got the kill initially on a Behemoth, and they will get out of there with their lives. So.
Oh, yeah. Quincy pointing out that Dark Lady OP after 40 minutes, undefeated.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, that's actually another thing also that, items like Tablet and Storm Spirit are also very powerful against the Succubus. So, man, Succubus, a fantastic here in the laning phase, an excellent ganker, but it's just she can be difficult to be played very well against a good team. So, man, I love seeing this hero, but I do got to wonder how much of an impact box he's going to have here in this game.
It might work to their advantage because we saw last game, Nullstone played very split up. They never grouped up. They kind of kept their carries off farming and then maybe a little bit of roaming we saw like on Midas. But so maybe they're counting on that, where Succubus is going to look for the person that's off by themselves and then try to focus them.
Yeah.
And this time, while they're doing that, they have the carries to back them up, so they can transition actually into the late game.
Sustainer finished by Dark Lady, so guess what? She's got a Rune Cleaver just around the corner now for her. And you look at the jungle stacks. We talk about BMG being very good at it, but Hellborn team seems like they're off to a good start with that, and eventually they got double stack Ancients here. Want to get those tripled up before that Rune Cleaver's picked up, I'm sure.
Yep, they're thinking ahead. I know that Rune Deck's coming, probably like 4 minutes, like you said.
Clanks.
But at least...
Go ahead.
Ooh. No, I was going to say, at least Swiftblade now, he's managed to get level 6, so even though he's in a suicide role and he's not farming, he's got that R for the win.
Yeah. I was going to say, Clanks. So 1,300 gold saved out. What would you like to see on Clanks, would you think? Maybe something like an Energizer first, get a little more stat, a little more survivability, knowing that fights could possibly be happening, and they kind of have been a little bit, or would you just see a straight Thunderclaw and just trying to be greedy but enhance that farm early here?
I mean, he's taken these stacks without the Thunderclaw. I mean, it's not as fast. I think an Energizer would be good, useful here. Just for the mobility, so he's able to run around, and it'll probably save his butt in a couple fights for sure. So yeah, I'd like to see the Energizer.
For now, he's just going to continue farming with minimal life even, but going to be efficient here. He gets the most out of his biggest bang for his buck, you could say, and actually will now fall back and regen, and we'll see. Does he go the Energizer, or will he now save up? If he gets a Warp Clef, then that's the obvious answer of a Thunderclaw, so find out shortly here from Baltazar and what he will decide.
Yes, he does. So he's gonna go with Thunderclaw. It's whatever. I mean, that when he gets a Thunderclaw, not only as a farming tool, it's a lot of damage as well in team fights. So.
Oh, top lane. They're gonna jump on a Swiftblade up here. The silence comes out. No chance for Mighty Marcus to even split react right there. I mean, that was just too much to handle. Dead before you knew it. And now they're going to push the top tower as Magnus and Rhapsody join Dark Lady, of course. So it's going to be an easy tower kill. And, I mean, after this tower kill, let's take a look at the goal. It's going to be 5,000 plus, though. Yeah, 5,700 goal lead 11 minutes in. Not looking good for BMG, who's already down 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, and all that farm on one of the meanest heroes with farm in the game.
Yeah.
Dark Lady.
It's almost an understatement.
Clanks is it's gonna be hard for him this game too. I mean, Magnus and Midas are both doing extremely well. Magnus Steam Boots and 1,800 gold, so he'll have a portal key, and he alone is gonna be able to take Clanks out of these fights. You know what I mean? That's what I worry about with a hero like Clanks. He does a ton of damage, but he's also just a glass cannon, right? And against portal key initiators, he's not gonna be able to put out the damage that his team needs. He's the only one with farm on his team, really.
Yeah, you're right. You definitely think you got to give credit to Nullstone with their draft because of that. Now Midas, he's being collapsed on down here. Going to go for the TP. Will this be successful? No, it won't. Shockwave happens. And Behemoth gets credit for the kill. Yeah, he doesn't have Enrage, but I think this is what he usually does, Rita Z, with this build. He likes to max with the fissure, you know, get a couple into heavyweight, helps him farm the jungle a little bit, or the creep wave even, and so he had to use shockwave there to stop the TP, but
Yeah.
he got to go middle lane, actually. Energy field is out. Magnus, he's going to barely stay alive for right now, but not in the long run. Succubus hold on to Engineer as well. And down goes Engineer. So that's the big turn that BMG was looking for right now. Thunderclaw now finished on Clank, so finally at least something going Bad Monkey Gaming's way.
Yeah, they slowed on that PK on Magnus. That was a huge heartache. I didn't think she was in range to get Magnus, but she did, so nice turn events for them.
And just to pull that off. And interesting here, she actually did eventually go the 1 point into Smitten. And again, I got to kind of wonder with a hero that's not played often and how much box he's played it himself, if he even realized about not only that champ, but maybe now it's just static at all levels. So it is a powerful 1 point ability, you could say, especially at the sacrifice of one more point in Mesmerize. It doesn't seem like you really want to level up Mesmerize like as soon as possible. So
with the change, I mean, I feel like Mesmerize becomes the 1 point wonder.
Yeah, that's true.
Almost, yeah. I mean, that in a 1 versus 2, that's huge. I mean, if you Mesmerize one and Smitten the other, neither of them are going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And now that she's got support coming from the other heroes roaming in, it's just even more powerful.
Yeah, I mean, she can technically, if everything goes her way, she can, in a sense, crowd control 3 different heroes. Smitten's one, uses Mesmerize on another, and then Succubus hold on the third. I mean, so she's has potential again. It's just a matter of, you know, facing against a very good team such as Nullstone here, is will they be able to pull that off or not. But Ancients, okay, they're going to triple stack them here, but they're going to give the farm to Midas, it looks. Oh, never mind, they're not going to farm. Well, maybe. Thinking about it.
No, Clanks just took a triple stack with his team.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's catching up.
Yeah, he must have got every single creep kill there, and he did get the kill in mid, so yeah.
Yeah.
He's coming back into this game, and it's, I mean, you could see a lot of it's the tower gold. Well, even though, I guess, more action at top here. Dark Lady's gonna...
It's a tough game for Mighty Marcus here.
Yep. Was he came from Ogre? Was he in a suicide role in the last team, or?
He came from, was it Shrek? Or was it, I think it was Shrek, actually, yeah. I'm honestly, I couldn't tell you. He came from Ogre and he played mid, yeah, okay. So, right. Again, he usually does play mid, but this is what I'm saying. Today, they just happen to be running him as suicide in both games. Which, I don't know if that's them trying to now change up the roles here, knowing that they're on a little bit of a losing streak, but yeah, it goes back to changing up a player like that. It can have its effects here. And you see Clanks is tanking this jungle stack somewhat, but it's going to be fine in the end, and get some assistance from Moira right here. But I wanted to go back to Swiftblade, and yeah, he does pick up a Ring of the Teacher now, but I was going to say this, like, you know, choosing to upgrade the boots first even and even pick up a Soul Skull, I really think just prioritizing that Abyssal Skull as soon as possible probably would have been the better option here for Swiftblade. Because then at the very least he can maybe go in the jungle, farm one or two of the camps here. And also just that aura is just good for the team to have in fights if they do break out. But
yeah. Definitely against the Dark Lady. I mean, any little bit of armor helps. So... But it looks like Clanks is being pretty greedy with this this jungle. I mean, he's taking it all.
Yeah.
But he's getting up there, and it doesn't look like it, but he can put out a ton of damage. If his team can lock down heroes or bottom lane, they're going to collapse onto Behemoth, and they just burst him down too quick, 3 heroes.
Guess what happened? Portal Key Magnus. Does the trick right there. So, yeah, you know, he absolutely can. The Goon Squad up, that Lackey, I mean, with how fast he does attack, so... He, no doubt, is a very effective glass cannon carry. We have seen it before, but you made a strong point there that he is taking all the farm right now. I mean, Succubus in second at 250 GPM, and then it just completely drops off from there. I mean, they've been trying to get the lane, of course, for Behemoth, but now with portal keys on heroes, I mean, he's just going to continue to be stalled.
And Baba Ganoush just blocked the hard camp.
Did he? Yeah. Very nice. Yeah.
Going to take away their only farm, because the Hellborn team now with the 2 portal keys on Magnus Midas, they're going to control the map, right? So if they lock down the jungle and they push out these towers, then BMG's not going to have a chance to farm anything. Invis on Magnus as well.
Uh-oh. He's
Oh, he broke it.
Did he? I was gonna say, is he having a ball? No. So I guess he just used it in. Whatever. He'll deny the tower. As they get the bottom tower kill on top of that, so many things just continue to go their way. A portal key on what you got. Playing engineer, jeez. So it's just A now on Midas on top. So yeah, the 3 portal keys just all of a sudden it feels like at 17 and a half minutes now.
This is where they want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, the 4 of them just going to create all the space in the world for Dark Lady to do her thing. And I mean, she's got kills, right? I mean, yeah, she's 2-0, so she can even bring stuff to the fight here.
Ooh, Mesmerize. Okay, there's a Succubus. Hold on to Dark Lady. Magnus is nearby, though. He's still going to get a stun off. He will stun Succubus. Gets a Dark Lady time to charging strikes away, and now here's the response. Succubus in those trees. They know she's there, though. Swift Blade. He's going to eventually fall. Everybody joins the party. Succubus, he does get out with the portal key, though, that he got recently, so at least Foxy lives, but...
I can't believe they weren't able to burst Dark Lady. He used a Swift Slashes, immediately turned into Blade Frenzy, and how did she tank all that?
Abyssal Skull, I guess. Just
yeah,
to take enough.
They definitely thought she was going to go down a lot quicker.
Yeah, that was a near full Succubus hold, too. And if not a full one, by the time Magnus stunned, it seemed like it was on there for a while. So, you know, I don't know if she got her heartache off, to be honest. I don't think she did, because she did get stunned at the last second, and it did buy time for Dark Lady to charging strikes away. So, yeah, I think that was the difference maker. That failed gank right there. And now Kongor, apparently. There is vision here, but...
It's smart. They've got Magnus ult up. They've got NG ult up. There's no way the Legion team can really contest this right now, and that's just going to give them the extra oomph if they want to take out tier 2s and really take control of the map.
So it's pretty much going to freely happen. Yeah, you can tell BMG they're just not nearly comfortable with trying to stop this, and for very good reason. Again, they got a portal key at Succubus, but it's not like she's an AoE initiator. She's just a solo ganker, so...
Yeah, that'll help her get in a decent position, though. And it would have helped her get away last fight. But
you got Clanks probably going to be following up with a Shrunken Head now, and I think it's safe to say that's for good reason.
He's hiding a Veiled Rot on the ground in the jungle. Clanks is right near the middle camp. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure what's up with that.
I guess that's for later. That'll be for the eventual. I mean, his inventory is full, so maybe he just had to drop. It was on him. He just had to drop it to get the Mighty Blade. So it's probably what would happen there. Wanted that survivability rather than holding a Veiled Rot. I think that makes sense. Despite a 2-1 record, Steam hits on Dark Lady are far less popular than Ghost Marches, which are 10 and 16.
Negative, soldier.
Wow, that's interesting, actually. But, well, yeah, I mean, Ghost Marchers, though, just giving her that chase potential. Again, if there is one thing that's powerful against the Dark Lady, it has a lot of melee carries, is the kite factor. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
Ghost Marchers to keep up there.
And Behemoth nearing his portal key. I don't know. This token might be kind of... I mean, obviously it's an extra life, but it might be what BMG needs, because if Home Run Team decides to group up with it and push, that gives them a chance to set up a nice Behemoth ultimate, which gives Balthazar a chance to do some damage.
Still needs that portal key, though. He is just about there.
Yeah, because they can't play aggressive at this point.
No.
The wards, even their wards are defensive.
Yeah. You can tell Succubus is going for the Shrunken Head now, too, and again, that's definitely the correct call. As we talked about earlier, Moira's going to be found, by the way, and that should be a quick death for her, as we see. So by the time Dark Lady even got there, it's just too late. So deep in the tower, though, it's going to fall. And here's that group up that you're talking about. But again, still no portal key on Behemoth. He's just trying to farm up the bottom lane as fast as he can. He gets it right here. But they're probably going to fall back by the time, even if they get this tower. They're playing it pretty safe.
Behemoth's not even TPing back yet, so I guess he doesn't want to go in without Moira.
Whatever you want to call it. That tower, though, yeah, it's at the secondary. Probably it's best to just let it go, but maybe fight at the base. Well, definitely fight at the base here, though, if you're BMG. But again, yeah, I don't think Null's even going to push, as they shouldn't really. And yeah, they're going to fall
they
back.
won't push the base, but they'll pick off these tier 2s and
nice
see
find.
Baba Ganoush. He puts that ward of sight down there. Oh, top, sorry.
Yeah, I caught it on camera. Just they caught her as she was TPing out, trying to get away. So Good find by Magnus. And
I mean, she's trying to split push while they're pushing mid, but she's not the best hero for it. She's
yeah.
not really quick. But yeah, Baba Ganoush gets that ward up in mid, and next I imagine they go for tier 2 tower top, get another ward up there, and when they know where everyone is, they got the game in their pocket. They know they have their ace in the hole, which is Dark Lady over 600 GPM, and the rest of them all just got portal keys doing their thing. Roman, that's what more do you want?
Yeah, he's at that territory now as a player, as you saw right there, 17-0 record, and again, I don't think many players would get 600 plus goal per minute and not be undefeated, but he's just, that also more so shows how many times he's done it, and just how reliant Nullstone is again on making sure he does get that farm, and it works out well for them when it does. So he's got that here once again, now 625 GPM, and they're just taking all the outer towers out first. Going to go for bottom now in the near future, I'm sure. And then eventually push from there. So it is buying a little bit more time at least for BMG to progress here. The Shrunken Head is going to be finished on Baltazar. Yeah, you see right there. The fact that players have lost with that much farm is the thing that I guess surprises me the most. But, you know, Salamon, something tells me Salamon's one or two of those games, at least.
Yeah, probably.
Because he's that hero that could. But that is interesting, though. Abyssal Skull finally finished on Swiftblade, so again, Mighty Marcus, he had a very huge struggle early on, but at least he's got a decent core now going on here. And yeah, I mean, BMG does have at least their starting items at this point, so they got something going for them, but still a long ways to go.
Despite, oh, here comes a Lava Surge Eruption onto Swiftblade. He gets bursted before he can do anything.
That's a poor. I just finished talking about how he's finally getting something going, and Asuka's like, let's change that real quickly.
That's a shame. I mean, Baltazar's doing a good job considering how difficult it is to play in this game where they're so aggressive, and he's got decent farm, but there's not really a chance for them to pick fights because they're all grouped up. Hellborn is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to sit here and think, you know, where BMG just really went wrong, but you know, I think that's the wrong way to look at it, though. I think almost we've kind of been looking at this the wrong way this whole series now, the more I'm thinking about it. Like, Nullstone's just playing very good.
Oh, that's exactly, yeah, that's absolutely the case.
The
dual lane mid was perfect,
yeah,
and it doesn't work very often, but it definitely shut down Succubus. They knew they only needed the two heroes top to take out Swiftblade, and Midas held on his own against the tri-lane. So they basically committed 3 heroes to Midas, and that just secured the other 2 lanes. So it was a good choice to not run a jungle here.
Yeah, it's definitely just been very, very good play from the draft to the lanes to the execution. It's just all across the board. This is a scary team right now that is determined to go to DreamHack. Summer 2015, and here we go. Magma stuns in on his Succubus Behemoth is nearby, but that energy field's going to do work, man. That was a beautiful placement. You see Clanks coming in with the Shrunken Head. The Arcade Vortex stalling a little bit, but now Dark Lady, she's out trying to do some damage. Swift Slashes are doing plenty, though, in return. And actually, Dark Lady does need to run away, but Succubus and Moira already dead. The farm clearly showing in favor of Nullstone right now. It still might not work at the end, though. The predictability, it's not going to matter. 2 go down, but down goes Clanks all of a sudden as Beaverbanger jumps in. Behemoth is like, I'm out of here, as he woke it away, but by the time the fight ends, so it was a fight there for BMG. They did a good job somewhat, but in the end, Nullstone does come out on top here.
Yeah, but I mean, it goes to show there that they do have actually the damage if to take them out. That Engineer ult was huge. They managed to survive it because kind of the Moira ult didn't really do well there. It kind of negated a little bit of the silence, but...
Well, yeah, no, it does show exactly that. There were good positives there for Nullstone at the start. They said the energy field was pretty good placement. To the fact that they did as well as they did is a sign, at least, for BMG.
And was the token involved in that fight, or did it expire before?
It expired. I was watching the replay right here, and yeah, I'm fairly certain at least it did expire just before. So that's a good point, actually. But yeah, no, not happening there. And in the end, Dark Lady, though, she stays alive. That's the important factor for Nullstone in this case. And now the lead just grows substantially. Now upwards of 18,000 gold lead now.
And you look at, even like when the support hero, Rhapsody, she's got decent GPM. She got a Void Talisman. And working on a tablet, probably.
What do you think
I'm
about Void
sure.
Talisman? It seems like we're seeing a bit more of that lately on supports. Why not?
I've always thought it was an underrated item. It's really it depends on what heroes you're up against. Uh, so, like sometimes it's risky if there's too many like magic damage heroes, you don't want to really make yourself susceptible. But against a Swift Blade, against Clanks, it'll stop his auto attacks, which will stop his procs. So I mean, it makes sense in this game for sure.
Yeah.
I think I think we should see a lot more of it, especially when they buffed it. I mean, I picked it up all the time before it was buffed into like
So
a
you're
build up item.
so you're hipsters, what you're saying?
Yeah, I always was a fan of the Void Talisman.
Yeah.
Even on certain heroes, I mean, it's got not so much in competitive gaming, but I mean, it gives you the ability to dive a tower to get yourself in position and not worry about taking all that extra damage, and especially Rhapsody, the way
Yep.
she plays.
That's true. Yeah, it's almost like a. It's obviously not like a shrunken head necessarily, but it can be. It's like if you're going up like against a prisoner, for example,
Yep.
with the prison break or the shackle, I can prevent that. Like physical heroes, I'd like to be able to
Devo
lock down.
hooks.
Freaking Pandemonium, another one. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Those are the heroes where it's a no-brainer. Sometimes you may feel like it's kind of risky because if you use it at the wrong time, you're just taking all the extra magic damage, but
Yeah.
definitely has its place. I
Uh,
remember when it used to stack with Shrunken Head, actually.
oh,
Or
yeah.
when it used to override it. I liked it better then. It used to be able to either use the Shrunken Head to override the Void or the Void to override the Shrunken, but they got rid of that.
Is that how it worked? Okay. Yeah.
That's how it used to
Now it's activation modifier. Those two and then Elder Parasite even thrown in there with one of the three. So, and that is unfortunate for Elder Parasite. I think that because I think that's what if anything kind of keeps it away from being a picked up item. The fact that it doesn't stack with a Shrunken is like the one main reason. It's like, why get it? It's just not going to be useful. But ooh, initiation here, smitten on to mesmerized. There's the succubus. Oh, they get a good start on her, and Darkly Storm Spirit comes out the protector melody. It will hit her initially, but no, she ran away from it. Ooh. Behemoth goes in with a shockwave, and Darkly goes down, buys back immediately though. But Nullstone, happy with that start. Engineer dead as well, but with the buyback, she's coming back in. They're going to catch Behemoth, it looks like, at least. As, Midas will finish the job. But the hell?
Quick work. Yeah, they killed him really quickly there. And that's Clanks doing a ton of damage. They don't count them out yet, I guess. Yeah.
I'm also pretty sure that if Dark Lady didn't move when she came down for the Storm Spirit, she would have been fine. Because I'm pretty sure the Protected Melody was just in range. But she ran up a little bit. I'm going to pull up the replay right here while we have it. No, that was the wrong button. We have a second. I want to make sure not to do, obviously, action. No, it doesn't look like it. So, well, there might be action. So not just yet. But anyways, point being, I think she would have been fine. But she didn't move. Hey, she had to use a buyback at least. That's good for BMG. So, as you pointed out, they are still doing stuff. They're doing work here, and they're showing that they want to force a game 3 to still definitely.
Yeah, and they're getting some more items. Swiftly with the Energizer and a bunch of Veiled Rots purchased, so they're gonna look to get active here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Succubus shrunken head on her, still not just yet, but she's sitting on that mighty blade still. Only 223 gold per minute, so yeah, just not has been.
Rhapsody may be in trouble here. Oh, she's gonna get TP'd out.
But there's a couple supports still left behind, though. So now with Rhapsody gone, yeah, Succubus hold on Engineer. Darkity's thinking about it, but realizes probably not to their advantage, so she stays away.
Yeah, it's like they were winning pretty dominantly up until even when they took Kongor with no resistance. And I think sometimes you're up a game, you get a little cocky, right? I mean, your Dark Lady's level 20, you feel invincible, but never underestimate the underdogs. They're going to be trying harder at all times.
Yeah. Well, again, and obviously the other greatest thing about a Succubus is that even with a shrunken head, it still will go through that. It won't do the damage, but that's not necessarily what you're looking for in the mid to late game. You're looking to just use it as a lockdown.
Yeah,
than
and
damage.
Swiftblade will be able to hurt him. Not so
Yeah.
much Clanks, really, but that's really true.
So.
And if it goes too late, they have the dual core lineup. I mean, they have the potential to contest the game later against the Dark Lady. I don't think she's going to outcarry both a Baltazar and Mighty Marcus with farm.
Yeah, I mean, well, definitely, a lot of things would need to happen for that, especially Swiftblade would really need to start building up that inventory, to be fair. But yeah, on paper, as far as farms going pretty equal, then yes, absolutely would agree with you. But
Yeah, I mean he's slowly adding on to his arsenal. He's got 2K in the bank. They've got their jungle back, right? But just 10 minutes ago, Hellborn team wasn't even letting them farm their own jungle.
yeah,
But they're gonna look to keep the pressure up here, take Kongor, and maybe even push the base now. Super aggressive vision. Look where Baba Ganoush wards in the middle of both tier 2 tower positions.
you know,
Just goes to show you what they're looking to push.
Moria sends in the illusion right on top of Kongor. That's going to give them plenty of info. So they know they still have time. It is just Dark Lady in the pit, and it's still at half-life, not even yet. So they're going to make the move now, though, but okay, the Veiled Rot, so they can't be seen, obviously, by the Rev War. Sneaking in here, Swift Lady opens with a spin, actually, realizing he comes out. Not really doing the most damage, though. And they're going to scare them off, however. There's a Swift Slash as he's trying. Doing plenty of damage to Engineer, but again, not enough. He's going to try to run away now, but will this be successful? Swiftblade goes down, still nothing to say. Succubus hold on to Engineer, but the Storm Spirit will cancel it. Now Dark Lady in the background takes out Succubus very quickly. Clanks with Dark Lady on him. He's trying to fly away. He's going to be good off the bat. The Arcane Vortex is going to miss right there, and they're going to land this time. But the Shockwave in the background on the Dark Lady, locking him down, but it doesn't matter. Clanks is dead, and more to come right here. Behemoth also following suit. He's going to go down. Buyback's happening by Null, by BMG, excuse me, but it's just too late. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, huge protective melody went out in the background to save Engineer, allowed him to come back into the fight. He died again, but it allowed him to get another tablet off in mid-fight, which put Clanks out of position. And really, that Swiftblade was trying to bait them to group up, and Succubus too, and Behemoth had a chance on 3 heroes, and he didn't take it. He wanted more, and I think he wanted the Dark Lady. So he never went into the fight. And sometimes when you're waiting for that right moment, it never comes, and your team's like, where were you? Where were you last fight?
Yeah. Well, he did eventually get the Dark Lady, but yeah, it was way too late. I mean, Clanks had already been jumped and was trying to run away at that point, and sure, a little bit of lockdown, but I agree with you. I think you...
Yeah, Nullstone didn't take the bait.
Yeah. They did a good job themselves. It does go back to their play, definitely. In fact, Magus, a beautiful stun right there on 2. Minus with the follow-up. However, the rest are not going to join the party. They were just a little too far away, so...
It's brave, though. Brave with those buybacks. And coming in and actually still trying to contest Kongor with a lot of their spells on cooldown.
Yeah.
It's admirable, though. I think it's smart.
Absolutely. Don't want to give up the free Kongor kill here, and they know that a Token of Life Dark Lady is always deadly. Would be no different here, but they got to go in now if they want to stop this. Sending in the illusions. There we go. Succubus jumps in, but the energy field immediately comes out of the background. Good to finish off. Does Dark Lady, gets the token alive. And here we go. Clanks in the background, picks off Engineer, but again, he already did his job really with the energy field. Swiftblade goes down, and Dark Lady's getting low, but again, she has the token. Clanks using the uphill to his advantage, using a great job with the Hawk, actually. But all of a sudden, he's kind of by himself. Behemoth in the background. Not much he's going to be able to do. Down goes Clanks, and now it's just Behemoth. Left alone, is going to get away, but damage done once again. And now they're going to capitalize pushing.
They end up losing the fight, but they do exhaust the token, so when they come back up, they only got 1 Dark Lady to deal with.
Yeah.
And I think even though it put them in a bit of, quite a bit of a gold deficit.
Yeah. There's hope. That's what it comes back to. There is still hope for BMG. They're just doing enough to stay in this. Now, Shockwave is up for Behemoth right here. He actually finished up, but Magnus stuns it at the same time.
Yeah, interesting timing.
He's actually taking a lot of damage. He needs to get out of there, as he does there.
And they buy themselves some more time, which is exactly what they need. I mean, Swiftblade used to buy back there too, didn't he? Yeah, so fortunately he doesn't really have any items at all anymore, or even, not on his way.
Yeah. You know, I was going to say this. Dark Lady, I think one of the issues that we have been seeing is Clanks is able to kite her very effectively with that Hawk. Now, I was going to suggest getting something like a Brutalizer. However, she does end up going the Wing Bow. Again, that's a great pickup, but I'm a little concerned that the kite factor is still going to be somewhat of an issue here.
Yeah, Wing Bow ain't going to help her against Clanks, that's for sure. I mean, he's 90% magic damage. With the Goon Squad and the lackeys.
That's a good point. Now, to be fair, he still can miss. I don't know if the rockets can miss from lackey.
Yeah, well, you're right. His main attack can miss, and I guess that saves a couple of Thundercrawl procs. But I think even if you miss like uphill, your lackey still shoots. So
That's a good. Yeah, I really do wonder about that. But if that's the case, if the lackey can't actually miss, then it does make it, definitely less effective for sure.
maybe she's thinking Wingbow will stack um, just extra damage, and if she turns the Frostburn into a Geos for pushing power, it's good to have agility stats with your illusions. I don't know.
Yeah. You're the first person to suggest that Clanks is actually a lot of magic threat. I've kind of heard that before in the early game phase. He does bring a lot of magic, but you are right, though. You really are. That the more I'm looking at the skill set, everything is magic damage. And again, especially with the items that he has, it's not like he's hitting hard with the right clicks. It's 176 max damage. That really isn't a whole lot. You compare that to Dark Lady, 349 max damage right now. So, and hell, even a Swiftblade team, it was actually not that great right now. But
Yeah, so that's why Shrunken Heads counter him hugely. I mean, unless he goes for the build where he gets like a Savage Mace or something, then that's really important item for him because of his skill build. But still, at the end of the day, Shrunken Heads negate a lot of his presence.
yeah. So, well, he's let's see what he builds next here. There's about 1,600 gold saved up for Baltazar, about 458 gold per minute. Top lane, though, Dark Lady continues to get more and more farm, so she already has another 1,600 gold, and honestly still could get a Brutalizer before another fight breaks out at this rate. It would be interesting to see if she maybe goes something like that and maybe sells the Rune Cleaver to replace that, or possibly get rid of the Abyssal Skull and have somebody else pick that up. Maybe the better option. But middle lane, yep, they catch Swiftblade. Mighty Marcus just continues his struggles here. 1, 8, and 6. On that Swiftblade. Has been sitting on the same items for a while now. Just cannot really get anything going. So, with that pick, he does have buyback. We'll see if they get that used or not here. You would figure if they are going to push, then probably would be the case here. So, this is now Behemoth. He's one of the best stallers for sure. Yep. At pushing, but
only level 15. Really wish he was 16.
Yeah.
To get that full effect.
That's such a crappy feeling, man. You're so close. Succubus hold. Here we go. Dark Lady. She's being locked down, but there's the Storm Spirit coming out a little late, but it does eventually. However, the Swift slashes. Dark Lady taking so much damage. Dark Lady in the background. She'll barely live, but her team is dying left and right. The hold is successful so far from Bad Monkey Gaming. And will they get more now? Magnus mesmerized on him. His team was chasing the other, but now they're coming over here. The Mine's doing actually a good amount of damage to Swiftblade, but Magnus Portakey in 1 second should be fine. As, yes, he's going to go for the TP, and he will get away. But there you go. Bad Monkey Gaming. This is not over just yet.
No, they don't lose the racks, and really what stood out to me was the Myra ult. It completely canceled out Rhapsody. She was the middle of the channeling to protect the Melody, and it would have kept Dark Lady probably at like half health. It got immediately canceled by Moira, and yeah, completely trying to fight. He had to flee, and like you said, as he melted once he left.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely crazy fight right there once again. So here we are, game number 2 again. Bad Monkey Gaming, their backs are against the wall right here. Yeah, it's definitely holding in that fight, but okay, never mind. Middle lane, just some illusions pushing right there. But so Kongor, no doubt, gonna prove to be a pretty important factor here at the next Kongor that is. And would that be it was just a second, right? I think it's still just a second Kongor.
2 Kongors have died so far.
Have they? Okay, so
the next one will be Bananas.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's right. So this is could prove
Legion team made it a point to fight against that token in the river instead of in their base. So
yeah,
and whatever they're doing against all odds, they still have all the racks up. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, coming up to 40 minutes here. Again, I look back at that Dark Lady choice of the Wingbow and really think that is that helping her a whole lot here as far as that pickup.
Aside from just damage, just not really getting any use out of the evasion. I mean, attack speed.
If she was I would have rather seen than like an assassin shot in a Genjiro, honestly, rather than a Wingbow here. If that was more of the case, but because at least that would bring you more mobility and a little bit of a getaway if need be. But again, went the Wingbow, so
I like games where if you get the Rune Cleaver, the Abyssal Skull, I feel like maybe let somebody else on your team get it, like a Magnus, pick it up for you so you can open up that last item slot.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually, maybe it's not too late that you can still sell that. Because I think the Rune Cleaver is huge. I don't like to sell it. I don't like when Dark Ladies sell it because she does so much damage. It's just great to have it splashing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she attacks so fast.
I agree there 100%. Yeah, that's a. I would think exactly Magnus would be that great can because he's already built a full demonic breastplate, as we see here. We didn't even really talk about that, but
yeah, 425 GPM. He's almost up to her clanks.
Yep, he's done very well in that aspect, and again the shrunken head on top of that. So we've seen the Storm Spirits, a couple now, Midas and Rhapsody, have stalled the Succubus hold pretty quickly here, and that'll continue to be the case, I'm sure. Was that a Savage Mace purchase? Yes, it was. That's coming out here to Dark Lady. So, there we go. As far as just raw damage, and definitely will help prevent Kite ideally. So, I mean, that's definitely that good. Just in between, well, not in between, just the good item as far as that's concerned. So, I like it now, but
yep. And
longer.
Sheepstick picked up on Midas, and you can see Balthazar's building a wing bow, which I like. It makes sense. It gives him the extra range, and he's already doing a great job of positioning himself well. That's just going to give him even more room. Yeah, we talked about the shrunken head allowing Succubus to keep her hold up, and then I forgot Storm Spirits. Just Storm Spirit the target.
Yep.
Done.
And it's like, well, that was pointless.
What about a tablet? I mean, can you tablet the guy out of the range and it'll cancel it?
No, they changed that a while back. It was her, Devour, and Pandemonium, where you can no longer tablet teammates.
Okay.
However,
you just can't even cast it on them.
You can still Storm Spirit. You can't cast it on them. Yeah, it's prevented from being cast on them. I'm fairly certain that's how that works. I do remember seeing that change a long time ago. So
oh yeah, cannot be cast on immobilized or restrained targets.
Yeah, there you go.
Attaboy.
So, ooh, Veiled Rot, BMG trying to make a move here. Find somebody, but not going to be the case initially. They do have the uphill advantage now, though. You cast it on the hero. Yeah, exactly. So, but ideally they would have a shrunken head. So that's where that comes into play of. If they have a shrunken head, technically Tablet can't counter it. But if they don't have a shrunken head, then yes, you just use it on them.
That's a pretty big nerf to Tablet then.
Yeah, it does. But again, just get Storm Spirit.
Yeah, true.
A little bit more expensive, but hey, it does have some extra good benefits, and we've seen it used now several times this game to pretty much cancel the Succubus hold. I do wonder who she's, Smitten again. Going back to that ability, I do wonder how she's looking to use that on, because Darkly now after if you can get it on her after she uses a Shrunken, then obviously that's great, which I'm sure she's looking to do that. It's not a long kill, only 15 seconds, but initially going on in a fight, maybe looking to use it on that Midas. Or even the Magnus could it be the better option? Because if you use it on Dark Lady before she Shrunken, she'll just Shrunken, and more than likely it just goes off anyway. So
I think Midas is the target, I believe.
Yeah, Midas doesn't have a Shrunken. That's a good point, where Magnus does. So that might be more
let's see,
ideal.
look at the hero damage. Yeah, Midas is up there. He's definitely a good target.
So here's that third Kongor. They're attempting it at least. Here comes the movement, though. The mines are nearby. The jump happens. Succubus on immediate Storm Spirit, though. Swift Blade. The mine trap as well as getting caught. He goes down right off the bat. The Arcane Vortex in the back of lock another heroes down. Darkly goes in. Clanks is dead. I thought that was an illusion. The Shockwave, but it just doesn't matter. Protected Melody. It's a hat-trick genocide in favor of the Hellborn team. Mora, well, I guess not a genocide, but it might as well be. Mora doesn't die, but damage done clearly. Magma's token alive.
That bound eye, that's what did. I was wondering how they saw Swiftblade, because he was perfect. He was going to come in there and set it up, start spinning, and then the follow-up from Behemoth, but the eye spotted them out, and good job by Engineer them. I mean, he instantly ulted.
Yeah.
And then that ult aimed at Swiftblade, caught Clanks before he can activate his Shrunken, so silence for a minute.
Yeah. It's, with him dead, no buyback either. The important thing, the only one to buy back is Behemoth, and, why would he really? I guess he could stall a little bit, but if he's not even buying back, this should be game. They're going to go right through the throne, probably, yeah. No, they're going to go for Mega Creeps. Just go for the top, try to maybe get at least a tower.
I mean, they can even hang out after. They still got Token and Bananas.
Bad Monkey Gaming on the verge of being 2-0'd both DreamHack qualifiers in the first round. I hate to say it again. I say it more for the team rather than Mighty Marcus, but Because again, being a new player, especially joining the defending world champions, that's got to be so much pressure in the first place.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And I don't think he's necessarily been playing bad by any means. It's just as a team, they're just clearly not the same. It's you look at like what's different. Well, the obvious is that Krake, they kick Krake, and now here they are. What do you want to call it? Karma? You want to call it just that's how it works? I mean,
I want to call it that, but I'm not sure if I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it. I don't know.
GG, well played. Bad Monkey Gaming no longer in DreamHack Qualifier 2 as they get knocked out. So Nullstone Gaming, though, again,
Yeah.
exactly. Focus on them because they deserve it. They take the game, and they are advancing on, so it must be a good feeling for them.
What did we learn today? Ban Midas.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah. Ban Midas against Nullstone. They're killing it with him.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams like to ban a War Beast against Nullstone because what you got plays it so well, but yeah, that might be one that people need to start thinking about. Absolutely. So, any other final thoughts on the game and the series, though, before we move on here?
I mean, I was super impressed with both games. I mean, BMG, they never gave up until they were dead and they lost their barracks, so can't count them out. They still played well. They're playing against an extremely great team, and I think with time, Mighty Marcus can fill Krake's role. I think they're just going to have to keep practicing and get that team synergy working up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and no doubt right now, too, once again, is that right now the scene is just it's so evenly matched. We saw that last weekend, and we've seen that kind of throughout the Deadeye Bounty League so far. We see it now to start off this weekend. There's just any of these 8 teams, it just feels like can win it. And Fresh was that case last weekend. Sync Esports lost in the semifinals. I mean, just BMG lost in the first round last weekend just like they did here today. There's just so many reasons why anyone can win these qualifiers here, and just another case of that right here. So,
yeah, I love it. I love the fact that it's not so predictable.
Yeah.
And then you tossed up that the huge patch is coming out in the middle of the qualifiers.
Yeah.
So that's just gonna be even more intense. Those are gonna be the real fun games to watch to see what really jumps out as new.
Now, here we are, guys. So it looks like Recent Gaming did tie it up, so they are going to be headed to a Game 3. In fact, they might be in the drafting stage here. I'm going to go ahead and load here. I'm going to play some music here. I have to use the restroom here real quickly. Sorry about that. I have to use the restroom here real quickly, but we're going to be coming right back, though. Game number 3, Recent Gaming versus Team Grief, going to be coming at you. Stay tuned, guys. You do not want to miss that. This series here. Stay tuned. I'll play some music once again. We'll be right back.